Dog coronavirus, symptoms and treatment. When you make the important decision to welcome a dog into your home, you accept the responsibility of covering all his physical, mental, and social needs, something you will do with great pleasure, because the emotional bond that is created between you and your pet is as special as it is strong. Dogs require periodic health checks, as well as following the recommended vaccination program. However, even if these prerequisites are met, it is more than possible that your dog may become ill, which is why it will be very important that you pay attention to all the symptoms that may alert you to possible illness. So, in this new article Dog Coronavirus, Symptoms and Treatment, we are going to talk about the symptoms and treatment of dog coronavirus, an infectious disease which, if it evolves favorably, requires veterinary attention more than fast. What is dog coronavirus? Dog coronavirus is a viral pathogen that causes infectious disease in dogs, regardless of age, breed, or other factors, although it is true that puppies are more susceptible to infection. It belongs to the family Coronaviridae, and the most common form of coronavirus in dogs is Aplhacoronavirus 1, which belongs to the genus Alphacoronavirus. It is an acutely developing disease. To better understand this concept, we could compare it with the common cold we suffer from, because coronavirus is a viral disease, without a cure, which can only be transmitted and which is self-limited, that is to say, with an acute development and without the possibility of becoming chronic. The incubation period of canine coronavirus symptoms of the disease begin to appear after the incubation period, which lasts between 24 and 36 hours. It is a disease that is as contagious as it is widespread, although if treated in time, it usually has no complications or after effects. Does 2019 GAV affect dogs? The coronavirus that affects dogs is different from the cat's coronavirus and also from 2019 now. As this newly discovered strain is currently being studied, it is not possible to say or disprove that it affects dogs. Experts suspect that it is likely to be capable of affecting any mammal since it is assumed to come from certain wild animals. Symptoms of the dog coronavirus. The symptoms of dog coronavirus coincide with those of human coronavirus, however, they are not all equal. The most common symptoms in dogs are as follows: temperature above 40 degrees C, loss of appetite and weight loss, tremors, lethargy, vomiting, dehydration, abdominal pain, sudden and foul diarrhea with blood and mucus. Fever is the most typical symptom of coronavirus in dogs, along with fluid loss due to vomiting and/or diarrhea. As we will see, all of the clinical symptoms described may coincide with other pathologies, which is why you must take your dog to the veterinarian as soon as possible for diagnosis. On the other hand, there is the possibility that a dog may be infected but may not show all the symptoms mentioned, which makes it even more important to take your dog to the vet. The success of treating your dog's coronavirus will depend, to a large extent, on how quickly you act. How is the dog's coronavirus transmitted? Dog coronavirus is excreted through the stool. The route of transmission by which this viral load passes from one dog to another is through fecal-oral contact. The group of dogs suffering from the behavioral disorder known as coprophagia, which is the ingestion of stool, is most susceptible to catching canine coronavirus. Once the canine coronavirus has entered the body and has completed its incubation period, it attacks the microvilli of the intestine, cells essential for nutrient absorption, causing the loss of their functionality, resulting in sudden diarrhea and inflammation of the digestive tract. Is dog coronavirus transmissible to humans? The coronavirus that only affects dogs, i.e. Aplhacoronavirus 1, is not transmissible to humans. As we said, it is a virus that is only transmitted between dogs. So if you ask yourself whether canine coronavirus is transmissible to cats, the answer is also negative. Now, alright, if a case of 2019 GAV infection were to occur in a dog, it would be a zoonosis, which means it's transmissible from human to animal. However, as we said earlier, this virus is still under investigation, and at the time of writing, there is no evidence that dogs can be infected, or not, with this strain of coronavirus. Treatment of coronavirus in dogs. Treatment of the dog's coronavirus is palliative, as there is no cure except to wait for the disease to follow its natural course. Treatment focuses on relieving symptoms and preventing possible complications. That said, in the face of doubt as to how to treat the dog's coronavirus, we will see that the answer lies in symptomatic treatment methods, alone or in combination, depending exclusively on each case. In general, treatments for dog coronavirus include fluids. In cases of severe dehydration, fluid therapy is used to restore body fluids to the animal due to vomiting and diarrhea. Appetite stimulators, they allow the dog to continue feeding, thus avoiding a state of starvation. Antivirals, they act by decreasing the viral load. Antibiotics, intended to control secondary infections that may have been caused by the action of the virus. Prokinetics, prokinetics are drugs intended to improve the digestive process. It is possible to include in this group the protectors of the gastric mucous membrane, anti-diarrhea drugs, and antiemetics, intended to avoid vomiting. The veterinarian is the only person who can recommend pharmacological treatment for your pet, and it should be used according to the specific instructions given to you by your veterinarian. Dog coronavirus vaccine. Currently, there is still no vaccine against the dog coronavirus that acts as a cure. What does exist is a preventive vaccine made with a modified live virus that gives the animal sufficient immunity to protect it against this disease. However, being vaccinated against the dog coronavirus does not mean that the animal is completely immune, i.e., it may be infected, but most likely the clinical symptoms will be milder and the healing process shorter. Is the dog's coronavirus curable? The fact that there is no cure for the dog's coronavirus does not mean that the animal cannot be cured. The mortality rate of canine coronavirus is very low and includes immunocompromised, elderly dogs, or puppies. Having said that, the dog's coronavirus is therefore curable. Caring for a dog suffering from coronavirus. In addition to the coronavirus treatment prescribed by your veterinarian, there are several other measures you should consider to prevent the virus from spreading to other dogs and to promote a good recovery of the sick dog.